As I'm in my last week of this assignment and planning to drive home in less than a week, I have been reflecting back on the assignment, people I've met, things I've learned, just a varied number of things of where, as a person and as a nurse, I always like to learn, grow, self-reflect. What could I have done better? What did I not know that I learned? One of the biggest things about being a travel nurse is you learn so much about yourself. And it always makes me grateful when I go home because the culture where I'm from is so different and so great and diverse of where I have been going. I think the thing that has bothered me the absolute most at this assignment is that many of the nurses that I work with have an overinflated sense of how much experience they think they have as far as being a nurse from 0 to 3 years, thinking they know everything and so much about ICU, when this ICU is very limited in its resources and the types of patients we actually take care of. And that this is the only job, if not the first couple of jobs that these people have had, and they think that they are so knowledgeable. And I think that can be dangerous for the patients and to themselves. A couple of people have complained about me since I started, and one of them I confronted last week, and she said nothing, which tells me she knows that it's her self-esteem issues and anxiety, and she's reflecting that back on me. She didn't deny the things she said, but most of them were overinflated situations, misunderstandings, or her just trying to deflect from her own insecurities. I wish her the best. I wish her many blessings, and it's really sad that her insecurity and anxiety, and that the only thing she has is this job. That's what I realized of how sad some of these situations are. Another thing is, I know now at this age in my life and all of my years of being a nurse and me having so many varied experiences of working my way up through my ranks and education, of being a CNA, an LPN, an RN, now a BSN, having been working in nursing with patients since 1997. I have been working with patients longer than some of the nurses I'm working with have been alive that are in their 20s. And a lot of nurses look at me as that old nurse who's silly and foolish, and it's sometimes comical to me. I told a couple of people the other day, you're going to blink and you're going to be that older nurse with like 25 years of experience under your belt, and you're going to have young people coming in saying these things to you. And so many things have changed, and every assignment's so different. I ask questions just to verify things. And some of the questions I ask, people look at me like I am insane, because sometimes places don't do things the same way, or the standard is different, or the equipment's different, or whatever. And they think that means I don't know or understand what nursing is. No, I'm asking because I do know, and I want to make sure that is how it is at your facility or with your, equipment or whatever the question is. And I think there's like a generational change of nursing, of where when I started in nursing, I would look up to the nurses like, wow, they're so smart, they're so professional, they are excellent problem solvers, they're teachers, they're guidance counselors, they're everything that to these patients I want to be. They're compassionate, they don't put up with anything. Like, I am very old school. Like, I don't say, oh, would you like to take your medication? I say, hello, it's time to take your medication. And that's like an old school thing of where we tell the patients what's good for them, and we have them do what's good for them. We don't ask permission. If you're stinking, we're gonna wash up. If you're falling out of bed, we're gonna straighten you up and try to keep you safe. We're not just gonna be like, well, they don't want to. They said no. No, that's not how this works. You don't know what's good for you, or you did something that wasn't good for you, is usually why you end up in the ICU most of the time. So, reflecting back on this assignment, a roller coaster of emotions. I want the younger nurses, I would say if you're under 30, listen to this old lady who is older than she looks. Respect your older nurses. Not all of us are trying to take over your unit, be the queen bee. Don't let your insecurity or your low self-esteem or your lack of experience stop you from helping, befriending, and trying to be a team player with your traveler nurses that are older with more experience, or a new nurse, or a nurse that's older that works at your facility. Even doesn't have to be a traveler. I think the safest and best units and the best run units have a variety of experiences coming in and collaborating together, because when that patient's not doing well, we all have different experiences that could help the patient. And us working together instead of avoiding each other is always the best for the patients as well. So I'm grateful for this experience. I have 4 shifts left. I am ready to go. I'm packed mostly. My car is packed. And I'm saying my goodbyes this week to friends I've made. I love to stay in touch with people. And I'm truly grateful and thankful for everything. I believe there's a reason of people crossing my path and why I had this assignment. And I feel like it is definitely time to go. And I wanted to share how I felt. Of course, you guys know, if you follow this channel, as a travel nurse, mom, everything else, I use TikTok to document my travels and my life. And sometimes when I look back on these videos, even like 6 months or a year later, how surprising it is where I was at that time or what I said. So thank you all for watching. I would love to hear your comments, and please be blessed as well.